Hello, Mark here again for part 2 of this card design, and let there be dragons, as we say in the trade. Just putting some scales on this one at the back. I'm not going to worry too much about this one because he's the top one and he's going to be quite small. I think you'll find that once the ones in the foreground are done, you'll notice that this one will just be in the background, which is probably the daftest thing I've ever said on one of these videos, and I've said a few daft things. You can see that when I do these scales on this dragon, I draw them in a curve, so you get the shape of the neck. Because if you come straight down or straight across, you're going to end up with a very sort of one-dimensional picture, which is fine if that's the look you're going for, which is something you might want to do. This is my favourite part of these, is doing the eyes. Always been a big fan of drawing dragon eyes, but I don't tend to work very big these days, so it's not quite as much fun, because if you're working on a big picture you can really go to town on it, really. But using the rigger again to do these lines, although when I actually do go over the actual finished picture to get this sort of, again, this sort of poster, 70s poster look, I tend to use a black pen, which I just showed you. They come in sets, actually. Not too expensive. You could pay as much as you like, obviously, but they come in different sizes or thicknesses of line, which is quite handy. The one I've been using on here is the finest, which I think is 0.500 or something like that, which is kind of cool. Now I'm going over this red with some yellow to give it sort of like an orangey glow, because what I'm trying to do with this, I want to put some scales on it, but instead of doing like the top dragon where the scales actually overlap and meet, these scales are going to have sort of an effect where you can actually see the sort of, I'm not sure if skin underneath is the right word, but that's what we'll stick with for now, to give it that kind of effect. And a bit more water, and you can blend these colours in. I'm using a kind of cream ivory looking colour for the horns, but you could use whatever colour you like. It's your picture, if you choose to do one, of course. But this is like an orange that I'm using on these eyes, with sometimes a hint of lemon yellow, just to give it that warmer glow, which is what I'd be doing. Now we're putting some detail in the iris of the eye, but of course they react as our eyes do to light, so if you're looking at a bright light, you'd only have a very thin line. You ever get the chance to see in a documentary how a lizard's eye reacts to the light? But anyway, how are you? Good, good, good. Yes, it's gradually lifted up the lockdown, which is, I hope, the right thing to be doing. It'd be nice to get out and about again and meet some friends. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I mean, you can see roughly what I'm trying to do with the colour here, these scales, to get that sort of, so it looks like there's some way to go to sort of finish these off, has to be said. This painting is going to take a little while to do so, hence the speeding up, because I mean, I like to do them in real time. But the sad thing is, people don't tend to sort of like to watch them in real time. It's the time factor. Everybody's in a hurry. No time to smell the roses. Or is it the coffee? I don't know. Which is ever. There you go. I can't speak. I got the wrong teeth in today. Yeah, we're getting there. But I'm not sure. They'll have to do a bit more work on this, but don't worry, we'll get there in the end. We always do. Might take a while. Because like I said to you before, what we're doing really is working from my head to the page in these pictures. And I'm not really doing a great deal of planning, so it doesn't always tend to work quite how you want it. I'm going over with a sort of burgundy red now, which is giving you that sort of look. But I'm tending to take some time over this, looking at it in between brush strokes to see if it's having a desired effect. I think it's quite a good effect we've got coming now. But of course, it's reaching the stage now where you can't actually do a great deal about it, because we're in the realms of anyway, that's nearly it for this picture. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in part 3, which hopefully get a lot more done, because this is just really getting these 3 bat dragons sort of mapped out how we're going to do them.